The only thing I could say to anybody like watching this is like, you're the only one that's gonna stop yourself from becoming the best version of you. Just get in the gym, get in, hit the wall, like we say in lacrosse. I kind of had that mentality as a kid that everything would come to me because I was a natural athlete. Really just like focus on yourself, put in the work, and if you do that and you stay consistent, then everything should work out for you and come to fruition.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Ships Across the Border. My name is Max. I'm here with Chris, and today we have on Connor from the lacrosse team, the first non-basketball athlete. Because we had OJ on.
Non-basketball, but still basketball, though.
Well, we're going to find out his two very, very interesting story that I'm curious about. I've been hesitant to ask people that know him or him about the story because I wanted to save it for the podcast. So
we know a little bit.
We're hearing
like
this.
A tiny bit.
Yes.
But before we start, I want you to tell people a little bit about yourself because I have this guy at home who watches the podcast and he like critiques it every time we do it, and he gets mad at me when he gets halfway through. He's like, I don't know how tall the guy is, I don't know how old he is, I don't know any of this shit. So tell them a little bit about yourself.
Elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch. Who is Connor Tobin?
I'm Connor Tobin. I'm a 20-year-old sophomore. I'm on the lacrosse and golf team. Came here this year. It's my first year at Elms. I'm a commuter. Yeah.
And how did I want to know like your beginning of sports. I want to go back to like how you started playing sports, why you started playing sports, and why you kept playing sports.
Yeah, so neither of my parents were like athletes when they were younger, but that was never really for me. Like my mom always told me when I was younger, like I was always just running around the house, running around outside. So that kind of got me into sports. I started with like baseball, football, basketball at the beginning. My mom hated baseball. She couldn't watch it. So
too slow?
Yeah, it was way too slow.
This has got to be an American thing because I have like never played this amount of sports in my life. Like I didn't start off playing
sports
9
in America
sports.
Are more like you're more pushed in that direction, I guess. Sports are more like definitely popular, but more like emphasized. Like in Canada, it's more like a hobby and like you pick it up if you want to, or it's not as like.
Because I played soccer, I played basketball late.
I think there's probably more opportunities in the U.S. too. There's probably more opportunities, more clubs, more other things outside of school to like play sports, and it is just taken more seriously.
So your mom hated baseball.
My mom hated baseball. It was way too long for her. She couldn't watch it. So that's how I got into lacrosse. I started with lacrosse when I was in like 3rd grade, and then I stuck with basketball all throughout, all the way through high school. Played in JUCO basketball.
So that's the interesting part. That's the interesting part of the story that I want to get to. So I'm gonna let you explain it. I'm like obviously let you tell your story. But
when did you start playing basketball?
Yeah. So I started playing basketball. I was in like kindergarten, 1st grade, around there. So I started early. Played all throughout high school. Like I said, loved my basketball experience in high school. And then,
played with JC, right?
Yeah, that's my boy. I grew up with him. He's been one of my best friends since I was young. So.
Were you good when you started off?
I mean. When I was younger, I was taller. So I was like 5th grade, around there. We had a suburban league. I was usually one of the better players on my team, but like
you strike me as someone who's fairly athletically inclined, like naturally gifted. Like after watching a few lacrosse games, like he's fast as fuck. No stroke and shit.
I feel like we gotta preface the whole story. So Connor played JUCO basketball last year, and now plays college lacrosse this year. It's the kind of like and college golf, which is kind of like what we know, the overarching like summary.
Yeah.
And so now like kind of getting more into it. High school, you said you had a good high school career, you enjoyed it. What did you do in high school? How did your high school career go?
And your role.
So I made my freshman year, I made JV. Jacob made varsity that year, so it was me and him.
Shout out JC.
Yeah, we heard.
Repeatedly.
We were the only freshmen when we came in that made either JV or varsity. So sophomore year, made varsity. I was like a role player. I got like 13 minutes a game, and then junior year, senior year, I became a starter. Junior year, I fractured my ankle like at the beginning of the season, so I didn't really have much of a junior year. Plus, that was COVID, so we had a shortened season. But senior year was probably the most fun I had during high school basketball.
Shooter?
I was a shooter. But I was more a defensive-minded player. I was probably guarding the other team's best player more often than not. But senior year was so much fun. Like we ended up. It was the first year that the Massachusetts started the state tournament. We had just been playing in our region. and we ended up winning our first state playoff game, and we got home court. That was one of the most like unreal feelings like I've had in high school, like winning a state playoff game in front of everybody, all our loved ones, friends, family. And then we ended up getting knocked out second round, but that game was my best performance in high school basketball.
What were the stats of that game?
I had 17. I don't know how many rebounds and assists, but I had like 3 steals. But
what was the student section called again? I'm tweaking. I was trying to think of the whole time he was talking. Like the crazy ass student section they had.
oh, the Den.
The Den.
Yeah.
Is it
Shout
racist?
out the Den.
Is the Den
Shout out
racist?
the Den.
Okay, so
nah,
it's not
I can
racist.
say that. No.
Okay, because Adam Sarlin, I don't even know who that is.
He went to Pope.
He came.
He's on the team. He
on
probably
the
wants to
podcast.
much because he's like.
And he brought up the fact that you guys have like the most racist fan base in all of Massachusetts or Chicopee or whatever. And I want to know from a second source if this is true, and if you have any crazy stories about the Den.
See, so I can't speak on that because, like, more times than not, like, I'll tune out everybody in the stands when I'm playing. That's just how I've always been. But, like, crazy stories about the Den. We had, we call this the Battle of the Bridge. It's between Northampton and Amherst.
Why do all their stories sound so fucking cool? I don't have any stories like that.
Because you went to school
JDSS.
That's exactly why. It's like you get funneled from youth sports into high schools that have this culture already, and the culture around sports and basketball is a lot stronger than it is at home, and so that's probably why more people play.
So the Battle of the... Sorry, I forgot already.
Battle of the Bridge is
Battle of
between
the Bridge.
Northampton and Amherst. And so it was my sophomore year, and every game, every home game, the Den had a different theme. And the theme for this game was ESPN. So there's a bunch of pictures and all that, but at the front of the Den, there's a giant ESPN sign, everybody dressed up like analysts and stuff like that. And there were just a bunch of signs like chirping Amherst that they're like a Frisbee school, not a basketball school, all this different stuff. That was probably the funniest Den theme I've ever seen.
Were they good? Did you guys win that game?
Can't remember. Nah, I can't lie. I got 30 dropped on me.
Damn.
That's not a good
They were
feeling.
good, the other team?
Yeah, they were good that year. They had a kid who was in me and Jacob's class. He was definitely the best player. So we were sophomores at the time. He gave me 30.
Do you think the Den helped or hurted your team's situation?
Our team,
Like, did it help you guys win, or do you think it was just like a non-factor?
I think it was a non-factor for me personally because, like I said, like I kind of just tune out everybody in the stands. But like, definitely, my sophomore year specifically, like the energy that the Den brought for our team, I think everybody like fed off of that, and like every time we hit a big shot in a game or every time something happened, like they would go nuts, and it would.
Because I've been a part of some situations where like the energy in the gym literally just shifts because you have some vocal fans, and I've like watched teams who were not supposed to win fucking games win because like me and 12 of my buddies just start screaming defense and just pushing the energy in their direction.
Yeah, no,
Were
that's
you-
what the Den was like.
Were you also playing lacrosse during this time when you were playing basketball in high school?
Yeah, so I played lacrosse all throughout my 4 years of high school. I started on varsity as a freshman. I played attack back then when I was a freshman, and then I switched over to midfield my junior year because I didn't have my sophomore year because of COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had been a varsity athlete on the lacrosse team since freshman year.
Did you consider lacrosse your main sport and basketball was kind of like your second sport, or what were you putting your main focus in while you were in high school?
To be honest, main focus was probably basketball, just because like my high school's lacrosse team was terrible. Like I think I won like 13 games throughout the 4 years I played. Like my junior year, we went 0-11. That was rough. That was a shortened COVID season. And then my freshman year, we were like 6-12 or something like that.
So then,
At what point did you? I'm gonna leave that for later. Actually, what was your recruitment like out of high school for basketball
and maybe lacrosse too.
and lacrosse? Like, were you trying to go out and play college lacrosse or college basketball at first?
See, so that's funny because this is what I tell a lot of the kids at the high school now, like my old high school. It's like not often do coaches come and reach you. Like you have to go find it to a certain point. Like that was a mistake I made in high school because I had this like I would be watching all these like highlights of these really good players and like see all their offers.
Blessed to receive an offer from or whatever.
Yeah.
And hashtag not committed or whatever.
Yeah, all that shit. Like I would see all that and I'd be like, some D3 coach has to like reach out to me at some point, but like I made the mistake of not reaching out, not putting myself out there. I didn't go to like any like recruitment days for colleges and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I stress to the kids at the high school now who I played with formerly. I'm like, you can't bank on them come to find you. You got to go find them, put your name out there at some point. But I like when it came to basketball, I didn't really have much of a recruitment process, but lacrosse I did. I had a little bit of recruitment process there. I was actually supposed to play coming out of high school. I was supposed to go play at Western New England, but
Basketball or lacrosse?
Lacrosse.
Okay.
And then it came towards like maybe like 3 weeks before the semester would have started, and like financial situations, like all that stuff. Like I had to go to the community college that I went to.
Which is where?
Holyoke Community College.
Okay.
So I didn't have the opportunity to play lacrosse freshman year, high school, or college rather, just because they didn't have a team. And
So is that where you went to play basketball?
How do you end up hooping there?
yeah, so
Did they recruit you, or you kind of just?
nah, this was like this was just like a regular, like really small JUCO campus. I would always go get shots up like after classes, just like in the open gym. And I played a little pickup run one day, and one of the kids who was already on the team, he was just like, "Yo, we have tryouts for the team in a week. If you want to pull up, give it some thought, see what it's like, see if you like it." So I did. I pulled up. Tryouts went well, and yeah, it went from there.
So you had no intentions of playing college basketball at this point? Like you were fully just planning on studying and being a student?
Yeah, I was fully committed to just like putting my head down and grinding on school. And then that opportunity came about, and I was just like, I'm already sitting at home doing nothing already, so I might as well have some fun with the sport again.
How'd the season go for you?
We were terrible, to say the least. Like it was one of those things where it's like sports at this community college, it's not like a sports community college. Like you kind of just go there to get your associates, and then you leave. So I think our last 6 games of the season, we played with 5 players.
People lied, or people failed out, or
Yeah, we started with like 11 or 12, which is
regular.
like regular.
It's still a little light.
Still a little light, but definitely better than what we had.
Mm-hmm.
And then some players started to quit. Some players just wanted to like focus on their grades. And it was funny because our coach was telling us that at the halfway point, at like after winter break, this was the first team he had in 11 years that not one person failed off the team.
So you had all 11 guys going into the second half of the year.
We did, but then all of them quit after the winter season.
So you're one of the last 5 guys on the team?
Mm-hmm. I played 6 games with 5 players.
Wow.
That's a lot of opportunity. That's 40 minutes a game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I had one game I dropped 20 on Bristol. And I think like in the last like 6 games I averaged about 12 points or something like that.
That's super solid.
When you say it wasn't serious, was it not serious because the coach didn't give a fuck, or just because the player was like, I'm at a JUCO, I don't really give a shit? Or
Yeah, definitely that. Like players didn't take it seriously. I mean, yeah, players definitely didn't take it seriously because, like I said, people that go to HCC, they're trying to get their associates and get out of there. A lot of our players on that team were a couple credits away from getting their associates, so they said in the second semester they'll just take those extra credits that they need to graduate early, and basketball just wasn't in the picture for most of them.
But was the coach serious about it? Like he wanted to win?
Yeah, our coach was really serious. I liked him a lot. Like I think he's the community college's all-time leading scorer, and then he also scored 1,000 at Westfield. I don't know how true that is. That's just what he told us. I never fact checked
all-time
him.
leading scorer at one school and then score 1,000.
How old was he?
Like 50 something.
Oh, so I was gonna say if you ever saw him like shoot around, you kind of
How many years do you have to
Oh,
play?
no.
I guess 2 years and 2 years probably. That's still very
pretty
impressive.
fucking unreal. Like 1,001 like at
2
that school
years.
and then bounce to another one. That's
Yeah,
wild.
2 1,000-point careers. That's very impressive.
I never stat checked him though. So
So, how do you end up here and not hooping? If you
Well, the main thing I was gonna say is like, did you quit that team after that season was over?
nah, I mean, we called the season to a certain degree because like playing six games with only 5 guys, like it just wasn't physically like doable. Yeah, like we were all banged up. Everybody was fatigued. And, like, we were just one injury away from playing 4-on-5 for X amount of games.
You do that? You're allowed to play 4-on-5?
You have to.
You're allowed to, yeah.
That's fucked. That would have been terrible.
You didn't see that thing with Colin Sexton on Alabama?
The entire bench was...
Yeah, and it was
they
like
played
3-on-5.
yeah.
And I don't think they won, but they
It was a close game.
Nah, they did win that game.
They did win.
Yeah, Colin Sexton went crazy that game. I think he had like 60.
Yeah,
Could have been the next Colin Sexton.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But
So, were you... What was it? So, after the season, in your, like, I guess, post-season, post-year reevaluation... Did you, like, I want to go somewhere else and play lacrosse, or I want to go somewhere else and hoop, or I want to stay here? Like, how did that come about to end up coming here and playing lacrosse?
So that story is funny, too. My senior year, it was actually in the middle of JUCO basketball. I had gotten a text from a random number that I didn't know. And I have a really bad habit of just responding to everything on my phone. Like, I'll answer, like, spam risk calls and all that.
Exact opposite. My shit stays and delivered for, like, days.
Just to hear what they have to say. Sometimes I fuck around with them, but, like...
I do the same thing. I'm not going to lie.
So I get this text from an unknown number, and the text says, hey, this is Coach Cross. I got your number from your high school head coach, Pete Carberry, who was my lacrosse head coach, and he said, I'm looking to start a brand new lacrosse program over at Elms College in your backyard. Was hoping to get on the phone with you, get your thoughts about that, and see where this goes. And this was like in the middle of my JUCO season, so I was just like, it's whatever. Like, I'm kind of just like, I'm trying to ball right now.
At that point, were you thinking, I'm going to come back next year for my sophomore year and kill?
Yeah, so I wasn't really sure, like, what that made me feel. Like, in the moment, I was just like, this is an opportunity to play lacrosse again, but I'm also playing basketball right now, which were my 2 sports in high school. So I didn't really know what to make of it at the beginning, but then I got on a phone call with him. I talked to him, and then eventually he took me on a tour of campus back in last winter, I think. And I toured the campus. I really liked it. I had also never been, like, on an actual college campus. Like,
how big was the college campus you're on before?
Not very big. Like,
building.
It was like 3 buildings, but they were all, like, right next to each other.
Sounds like Madai.
I was about to say,
Shout out Madai.
But, like, I just wasn't having I would see all my friends, like, posting on Snapchat who were at, like, UMass. I had a friend at Syracuse, all those big schools, and them having, like, the college experience.
Yeah.
I was just like, I know I might not get exactly that at Elms, but I might. I wanted to give it a shot because
it'd be closer than what you're already.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you came here in the beginning of this year. This is your first year here.
Yeah, it's my first year here.
And before we go into, like, your season in lacrosse this year, I want to ask, which sport do you prefer playing? Is lacrosse or basketball?
I would say lacrosse, just because like I can be really physical in lacrosse, that I can't be in basketball, and I'm a really physical player. My biggest problem in basketball was my foul trouble, so I never really had to worry about foul trouble in lacrosse, because I mean, you could lay somebody out, have it be clean, and you just go on to the next play.
Like, after I did fouls for 2 other games, and, like, watching it go on, like, I'm a dude who loves, like, intense shit, like lifting weights and all this crazy shit, but, like, there was almost too much testosterone for me. Like, I'm watching, he fucking got foul. Something happened. I think you either got a foul, you got subbed off, you can't, he just fucking threw his stick on the ground, just fucking screaming at the crowd. I was like, dude, this is pretty fucking intense.
So you didn't play any lacrosse while you were playing for like a year. Like, you kind of took a year off, and now you're coming back. And Chris, I have not watched a game, but I'm gonna take Chris's word for it. Says you're a killer.
I don't want to seem like.
How is your season going so far? Then how do you think you're able to kind of maintain that level of play without playing for a year?
That's a good question that I'm still asking myself, to be honest. Like I hadn't touched a stick since, like, I first got here in a year. So we had, like, our fall practices and whatever. I was doing really well in the fall. I was basically, like, trying to get these younger kids. Like, I knew I had no experience at the college level either, but I had experience at with basketball, and I had always been like a leader on my teams in high school especially. And so my biggest thing was just like, this is a brand new group of guys in a brand new program. like I kind of took a role of like banding everybody together, really getting our stuff to like click in the fall, and like we kind of just went from there. I would say right now we're not at the best position we could be at.
Chris says you guys are pretty good.
I seem to think so, but you gotta keep in mind, I have like a virgin lacrosse eye. I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. Like if I see someone like Lucci do some flashy shit, I'm like, that looked cool. I think it was nice. Like it looks skillful.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess, like your top down, like your best players, I'm purely going on like people I've seen score goals. So it'd be like Lucci, you, and like Jesse.
Yeah.
And that's like all I can base my shit off of. So that's like what I'm looking at.
Some of the Draymond of his team could be like the glue piece. You
That's
know
what I'm
you
saying.
think. Like, oh, guy's ass.
I don't know what the
you
fuck
don't know
I'm
what you're
looking at. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
But like when I look at lacrosse and I'm watching you guys play, what happened in the Regis game? I want to break it down from like your perspective, because you guys are up 3-0 like really early on, and like I don't know why you guys lost that game, but I'm assuming you do from like an inside lacrosse player's perspective.
Yeah, so we were up 5-1 after the first quarter. After the first quarter, four quarters. We played 15-minute quarters.
Damn, that's a
long ass fucking game in the rain every
so
single time.
I know soccer. Like if you get subbed out, you can't sub back in.
Dude,
No, we
you ever
don't
seen
do that.
hockey shifts?
Or like or hockey shit. Like every
That's what it
sport-
is.
That's
It's
basically
fucking
what it is.
nonstop.
Yeah.
Whenever they go back on defense, he gets subbed off.
I guess
and-
hockey's 3 20-minute periods. I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's the
Oh, so
same length. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like,
Okay.
dude, it's fast as fuck. Like when they're on offense, he gets subbed in, and they just fucking rotate through defenders and off like players. And
Yeah.
like poles and shorties. Like I don't know much about the game, but that's something I've heard 1,000 times.
Pole
Yeah.
and shorty.
It's the length of the sticks. Like defenders have poles, and like offensive players
Yeah.
have shorties.
So
I pay attention.
Damn, you might have a new fucking.
I'm not gonna lie, your coach asked me to come out, but I don't know if I could take that much abuse.
Hey, we
You
can
might
use a
be a
manager.
dog, bro.
I would, dude. I could hit some people quite hard, but I just like
what
the
I'm
skillful
saying.
aspect. I just don't think I have it.
Nah, but like they call lacrosse the fastest game on 2 feet. So like you always
Looks
need to
like
know
it.
what's going on.
Yeah.
And like in that Regis game, I think we went up 5-1 after the first quarter.
Yeah. It's like 3-0 in like the first 5 minutes.
And
What is the average lacrosse score? That's what because
definitely double digits on both sides.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
because so it's not like hockey where like because a 10-11 hockey game is like
Yeah.
ridiculously high scoring.
That's like an average lacrosse game, I'd say.
Like 10-11 or something like that. Like 10 like between 10 like 12
Yeah.
goals aside.
But yeah, like in that Regis game, I think we just got complacent. Like we sort of took our foot off the gas. We said, oh, we also walked into that with the wrong mentality. Like watching film, we were watching them, and we kind of just told ourselves like, this team isn't better than us. Like these kids suck, kind of thing. And like we kind of just walked in there like we were gonna dog walk them, and then they ended up dog walking us. So
I don't know what dog was. It was like 9-7 final score, right?
yeah, but like for us to be up 5-1
Yeah.
after the first quarter and have that end score be 9-7, not in our favor, like that's something went wrong. But I think our struggle right now definitely comes on the offensive side of the ball. Just simple stuff like making the right pass, making your catch, like our rotations on offense. I think that's where we sort of lost our momentum because we scored those 5 goals quick and they were good goals, and then all of a sudden we stopped running our offense. And the thing is with that, like when we have long shifts that we play on defense, if you play defense for like 5-6 minutes straight, you can't just go down on the offensive side of the ball and get a shot off in 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. Like you need to give the defense a break. And it's those little IQ pieces that we need to learn, like, and we've talked about it as a team, like especially after that Regis game where we played 9 straight minutes of defense in the third quarter.
Like the same lineup?
Yeah, pretty much. Like it was like,
Wait, can you sub? Like if the ball is in your end, like defensive end, can you sub or no?
yeah, so there can always be up to 6 people on each side of the ball, no more. There can be less, obviously with like penalties and stuff like that, but like you can sub freely as long as there's a maximum of 6 players on the side.
So I was watching Lucci, and like it kept fucking with me because I didn't know what was going on. Because like Lucci would chase somebody from the offensive end, and then he would get to the half point, and he would just like stop dead and just like let the guy go because you can't have more than 6 people on that side of the.
That would be an offsides call. We'd be man down.
Yeah, this was fucking with me when I was watching it.
That's like a very unique sport, I feel like.
It's Canada's national sport.
Yeah.
I don't really know that many people at home. Actually, so one of my friends is. Let me talk. Different episode. One of my friends is currently doing exchange in England for 3 years, and he never played lacrosse before, and he's playing on the university's lacrosse team, and he's QB1 for the football team at the same
dope.
time.
That's dope.
But like, it's like in between like intramural and I guess like it's not extremely high level. It's not taken that serious. They only practice like 2-3 times a week per sport, so it's very low commitment. And I guess the competition is probably decent, but it's not like D3 or NCAA college level. Mm-hmm. Do you think lacrosse is an easy sport to pick up on? Because I feel like I've heard of a bunch of guys, Tay, or like JC, or even.
I wasn't trying to throw a shot. That was just the first name.
But he's never played. He has never played before, or even you who took a year off and then now is playing. Do you think lacrosse is? I mean, once you get to know it, is a simple sport to pick up on? Because even though some people who I feel like I've talked to, like, oh yeah, I'm playing lacrosse this year, and like they haven't had too much of a background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do definitely think that like when you put your mind to it, it's one of the easier sports to pick up. It's not like baseball where you have to worry about hitting like a 90-mile-an-hour pitch, right? Mm-hmm. But like lacrosse, shout out Jacob for this because he hadn't touched a lacrosse stick before our senior year of high school, and he came up to me like after our basketball season. And we were having like a little moment after our last game where we were just like, damn, this is our last time playing together. And he like low-key surprised me. He was just like, but what if it wasn't? And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not playing in college. And he goes, what if I join the lacrosse team? I was just like, hey, if you want to, like, yeah, like I would love to have you there, like keep playing with you, because he's by far my favorite teammate I've ever played with in a sport.
Great guy. Shout out JC.
Yeah, and like the thing is with Jacob, when he puts his mind to something, it could be something as simple as like chess. If he really wanted to, he could be nasty at chess. And so he really like put his mind to lacrosse in our senior year. And he was actually pretty good when he like first picked it up.
I will say right now, because like he's getting minutes.
He's a dog now.
Like, he's defensively sound from what I can see. Again, virgin like the cross eye, but like it looks like he's defensively sound.
Nah, definitely. He's definitely one of our best deep middies. And like after our senior year, I wasn't so sure like coming here, knowing that he has basketball, if he would want to play lacrosse. But when he found out that I was coming to Elms. The first text he sent me when he found out I was coming to Elms, he said, "We're running lacrosse back?" ? I was just like, "Yeah, we are."
So how come? I mean, how come A, you didn't try out for the team here as well, because it's 2 completely different seasons, but also B, how come you don't play in any open gyms?
We need shooters, bro, like badly.
I have never gotten a text.
I'm working on it.
I have never gotten a text about open gym. If you text me, I'll pull up. I would love to. I would love to.
Might as well fucking blow at that point too. Let's just get the retirees back around, dude. I'd be down for that.
Nah, but also like, I wasn't trying to try out for the team because I also play golf. And I was just like,
might be overloading a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
3-sport athlete? That's crazy. 3-sport college level athlete?
That would be wild.
That's OD.
Something I want to know about is like when I've only played 1 college level sport. You've now played 3.
Yeah.
And you guys got kind of spanked by St. Joe's in that last game. Do the things that make a good basketball team also tend to make up this like a good lacrosse team? Because when I watch St. Joe's, and they're like the best team in the fucking GNAC for basketball as well.
Yeah.
And they're like on basketball, they're super disciplined. They run their sets. They swing the ball. There's like
they communicate like crazy.
3 dribbles per possession, and it's like really crisp and tight, and everything's fast, and they don't overdo anything. There's no egos. It's like it's super simple basketball, and it fucking works. Is that the same kind of shit that goes with lacrosse?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, like communication. Like all you could hear during that St. Joe's main, you couldn't hear the fans. You only heard them talking, especially on defense, running their offensive sets. Like they're a really good team. They're probably the best in the GNAC in lacrosse too. And they just had a group of really disciplined guys who really they mastered the basics, passing, catching, running their offense. They have a great coach. Their coach is great. But like, yeah, they just had a team full of ballers that like put their egos aside and knew that them individually they're good, but they're better as a team and a system.
Really, like that's very similar to their basketball team as well. Like,
one dude who quietly averaged 20 points a game. Like you look at the stat sheet after the game, like there's no way he had 20. And then go back to the film, it was like rebound, put back, rebound.
Yeah,
put. It was
so
quiet and simple and good basketball.
What are 3 things that you kind of think make a high level collegiate sports team? Whether it's
level.
lacrosse, basketball, golf, what are like the three most important things you think that a collegiate sports team has to have in order to be successful with your experience?
One, I would definitely say chemistry. Like, you could have a group of like 7, 8 guys who could go rattle off 20 in a game of basketball and rattle off like a hat trick every game, but if they don't like playing with each other and they don't like being around each other, like that team's not going to work. And I'd take the team of role players who really get along and can work within a system together over that team full of.
I've definitely seen that too with like specifically not to throw shots, but like the Riviera team. Like this is their first year together. They cleared house. They have this whole new locker room, whole new gym, everything, and a bunch of new players. And there wasn't that much chemistry on the court, but they could house teams, like beat them by 20. But when the chips were down and it was like a close game, you could see it start to break apart. Like they were screaming at each other, and you just lose that chemistry on the court, and it
That's
starts
exactly
to
what
show.
happened with us. Like we have a very new team of new guys with a lot of talent. I think anybody in the locker room would tell you, including coaching staff, like we underperform for our level of talent. And I feel like that's one of the things that held us back is when shit hit the fan. It's like I'm gonna be the one to dig us out of this hole. And instead of sticking to our shit and running our plays and all the stuff that has made us successful in the past, it was kind of more of an individualized approach to that. And that's probably one of the reasons why we lost some of the close games that we did. And hopefully we can build on that next year.
What do you do? What is your shit outside?
Yeah, he's got two more.
Oh,
two
shit,
more
two
gems.
more.
Two more gems to
Sorry,
be dropped.
sorry.
Oh, two more?
Sorry.
What did I say? Chemistry. Definitely chemistry. Work ethic. If you don't have the work ethic as a team, like you're not coming into practice with the want to get better, then you're already losing, right? Like you have to have the mindset of like our coach Sis says games are won in practice. So even before,
He seems like a great coach.
he's a great
What is
coach.
that? I might.
He has a mohawk.
The
Very
mullet-
high energy
the,
guy.
The mullet.
Coach, not Coach Cross, but Coach. What's his
Yeah,
name?
it's Coach Cross. We call him Sis though.
Oh, okay, that guy. Yeah, okay.
But he's easily been the best coach I've ever been coached by. Like
Every sport.
every sport. I mean, me and him, that's like family to me. Like I knew him before I got here, and like so me and him have that personal connection as well as the player coach connection. Great guy, I love him, and he's a great lacrosse coach.
Before we go on to the next one, I want to say the work ethic thing with like the whole team. It can't just be from 1 to 10. It has to be like 1 to 20, and that's where like I think most teams fuck up. Is like because I kind of want to coach after I'm done. I think I don't know maybe, but like with any team, whether it's a sales team, a basketball team, a sports team, whatever, if 1 through however many everyone's not bought in, you can kind of see that on the court where it's like
It's like chinks in an armor.
yeah, and it's like.
Yeah.
One of the quotes from Alex Ramosi that I'm going to fucking completely steal here is 100 golden BBs, not 1 silver bullet, because it's like 100 things done right is what actually makes something spectacular. It's not one, it's 100 things that are done perfect.
I like that.
But number 3.
Yeah. Number 3. I'm trying to value what I value over other things.
Let's say from perspective, like as a coach, what 3 things would you want the most?
Honestly, just passion. Like that goes hand in hand with work ethic, I feel like, because you could be a hard worker, but if you're not having fun with it, then what does it really work? Like, I brought a saying to our team during the fall and the spring, like, what's your why? Like, why do you come out
That's our
here?
favorite question.
Why do you come out here every day? Like, what makes you?
By chance, did you get that from watching a clip of our podcast, or you created that independently?
Nah, I came up with that like during a practice. I was like in the middle of a practice.
For my ego, I'm going to hope it was subconscious inspiration.
You saw an Instagram clip of someone saying that. Shout out podcast for the Elms lacrosse team winning the GNAC in the future.
My guy.
If you're going to say
My
that, we
guy.
have to kind of know what is your why? Why do you continue to work so hard? And
To be honest, before this fall, I didn't really know what my why was, and then I had a passing in my family, a man that really brought the love of the game of lacrosse for me. My stepdad passed away just before Thanksgiving, and from the minute he met my mom, and like I was like 10 years old, he really got me into the game of lacrosse, really gave me the love for it. Like I remember those times when he would just bring me to the park. We would play catch, we would go shoot on the net, like all that stuff. Like he's my why now, and like I couldn't have said I had a why before that. Now I do. Like it's like to lose somebody like that means so much to you in the sport. To keep going for them, that's my why. Like he's my why.
What is your plan outside of lacrosse and all sports, like after college? Like what's your major?
I'm a marketing major.
Is your plan to be a marketer?
So realistically, I want to work at like a university in their like marketing department, help athletes get like NIL deals, brand their athletes and stuff like that. Yeah, that's
Plan on being a coach in a basketball or lacrosse.
I have given a thought to that. Yeah, like something on the side, but that's for the future to tell right now.
'Cause I've thought about it, and I had a little spurt in Canada over the Christmas break where I had an old coach of mine. He brought me in, and I had to coach a group of kids. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of sucked at it. I'm dead ass.
They're also it's very tough. He was coaching extremely high level kids as a very inexperienced coach.
But also, like, I didn't even know I was going to coach. Like, I was on the way there, and he was texting me in the car because it's like a 2-hour drive from where I was to Toronto to get to the thing. And he was like, "Oh, by the way, you're coaching tonight." And I thought that meant like he's going to coach, and I'm going to like maybe throw a few things in. No, he threw me in. I'm the head coach, and he's like, "What do you want to do for warm ups? What do you want to do for this play?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know. I've never done." And he just threw me in. It was a sink or swim moment, and I definitely sunk badly.
Something I'm curious about with lacrosse, and I guess other sports as well. I feel like basketball, and this is extremely biased because I only play basketball
And volleyball.
now. But
Okay, boy.
hell yeah, I'm trying that shit out and see how that shit works. Hopefully, I'm coming in next year windmilling and shit. So in basketball, there's a lot of extra work that can be put in, and it's very emphasized on like the extra work, the unseen hours, like going to them, getting shots up, doing ball handling, lifting. In lacrosse, I feel like it's I don't want to say it's not as a technical sport because basketball is an extremely technical sport and you can really go and work on certain stuff. There are other sports I feel like that there's less opportunities and less things that you can work on outside of practice. So is lacrosse a sport that you can just kind of go to the field and like work on, or like things you can work on, or is it kind of just a thing where you just go to practice and get better as a team?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the one thing that you learn from lacrosse, like when you first pick it up, is like all you need is a stick, a ball, and a wall.
Okay.
Right? Like
Was those like the fundamentals, like passing and catching type thing?
Passing and catching. All you need to do is go hit the wall. Like you can get your reps up there. Like we do 200. Every person does 200 reps of wall ball before practice starts.
That's like passing. Okay, that's like
yeah. You just like a wall like this. You just
throw it and catch it.
Throw it and catch it.
And those are like that's like the lacrosse fundamentals.
Yeah, for sure. And then like I like it here because you can just use the field whenever. Like as long as there's no other team on the field, like you'll see us around campus all the time. Like
what are you working on when you go to the field? That's more what I'm asking as a place of ignorance, because like in basketball I know I'm gonna get my shots up. But there's also like I can work on the moves into the shots. I can work on there's so many different layers.
I'm working on not dipping the ball. I'm working on catching it in rhythm.
There's so many different layers of things that you can work on in basketball, and I'm just curious, is lacrosse as complex? And if it is or if it is not, when you go and you do put in extra work, what type of things are you working on?
As an offensive player, like it's definitely easier to go out there and find those layers that you can actually work on, because like you could work on dodging, you could work on your footwork, you could work on shooting, placement, speed training, stuff like that. Like really doing the little things that will help the bigger part of your game. I'd say myself, like I'm a really good dodger.
So like you're dodging the defenseman?
Yeah, dodging
like
the defenseman.
Or dodging someone kind of
You're a fucking running back. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I would say that's one of my strong suits of my game. So like if I'm going on the field like after hours, like
how would you practice dodging? Like you have a defenseman come in and try and hit you?
I get cones. And it's just like doing dribbling work with
basketball.
With the basketball, and just like doing my dodge into my shot, like working on where my hands need to be, where I need to place my shots on a certain goalie. Sure.
How much are you prioritizing the weight room? And was it different in basketball? Because I know someone like Jesse who's just absolutely fucking diesel and can bench 225 for like 10 reps.
And he's like 5'6", 5'7".
Dude, you just can't
get that's Nicky.
No,
Nicky's 5'6".
Jesse's like 5'10".
Oh, Jesse's a different dude. Nicky's that's what I was thinking.
But they both strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, Jesse's a brick shithouse. And like he obviously values the weight room a lot for his position. So are you doing things in the weight room, and did that shift from basketball? Like were you just saying fuck the weight room?
Are you also doing the same things? Like in basketball, a lot of plyometric stuff, a lot of explosive movements. I have seen those lacrosse guys in the weight room all the time. They're not doing much plyometric stuff.
Heavy
They're doing a lot of
bench,
heavy lifting
heavy
and stuff like
cleans,
that.
heavy
Yeah.
squats.
So
Yeah.
what's the like weight room routine?
My weight room routine, I mean, I just do push-pull legs.
Fucking right.
I have 2 different leg days. One of them is more like weight training oriented, just like using the actual weights, and then my second is like plyos, like explosiveness training, speed training. I'll do like box jumps, weighted box jumps, band stuff, all that. So I have 2 different leg days. I try to get into the gym now that I'm in season. I'll try to get in there like 3-4 times a week, but in the off season, it's like 5-6 times a week.
I'm gonna ask the classic gym bro question. How much do you bench?
I bench 225 for 2.
That's the most of this panel right now.
I was really hoping I was going to be stronger than him just for some statistical shit. But I want to go back to like, hold on, I got to think about something real quick. So actually, no, I'm going to ask about Lucci. I just want to ask about Lucci because I was talking to him the other day and he was just like,
Chris has a crush on Lucci.
I don't have a crush on Lucci.
That's my guy.
But like, he's just goofy as fuck. And like, does he put in work?
Oh my god. Yo,
He's just nice as fuck.
I mean, I played against Lucci in high school. He went to Wacona. I played him once a year in high school. But like you see it like outside of the practice work. Like I went to go walk to the locker room today to go do some schoolwork in the locker room. Who's out
Your
there?
guys' school locker room, your guys' locker room in the school is nice as fuck, right?
So nice. So
I've never
nice.
seen it. Because let's take a trip after the
We got like an
podcast. I
85,
actually want to go see that shit.
85-inch
Did you take us
TV.
after the podcast to go and look at the
Yeah.
locker room? Apparently they're also making one for other teams in that like those classrooms in McGuire.
I hope
From
so,
what I've
yeah.
heard.
Where is this?
It's in
Second floor, McGuire.
Where you guys do pregame?
Yeah, they have one adjacent on the other side of
I
the.
have seen Lucci walking there
And
before too.
you guys just go in there and chill.
I be in there chilling all the time. To
It's
be
like
honest,
a D1 like locker room. I want to see.
Like
I'm
Damon?
going. I think we're gonna find out.
to be honest, I'm in there enough where like, so I only have an 8 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I brought a blanket and a pillow.
That's right. There's like couches and shit in there.
Oh yeah, we got two couches that seat 2, and then 4 singular layer like chairs.
But I'm actually extremely interested.
You passed out and woken up in that room?
Oh yeah, Southall walked in on me one day. I was
What
passed
the hell
out.
was he doing in there, Coach? What are you doing in there?
He was looking for Sis.
Okay.
He walked in and I was dead asleep. Like I woke up, I was just like, oh shit, what's up, Southall? Nah, but yeah, like that's where we do a lot of our like team bonding stuff. Like we'll just be in there chilling. Like, and that's the other thing with our team. Like, you won't be able to walk around campus and just see one of us walking alone. Like,
It is true.
we're always with each other. That's what I love about this team. This is one of the more closer knit teams I've been a part of. But like Lucci specifically, I was walking to the locker room today. Like before this, like I said, he's getting up shots. Like he's doing that every day.
Getting your shots mean like going and just like shooting on the empty net or having someone in the goal. Or?
Yeah, he's just ripping shots, working on shot placement, where he needs to be putting the ball, and like he's got a fast fucking shot, bro. Like
I've heard him actually. So we were at the table and I was talking to him or something like that, and I was like, "What are you doing for the rest of the day?" And I think I was asking him something about because we have a class together, business stats, and like what you can do later. It's like, "Nah, I gotta go lift, then I'm gonna go shoot some shots, then we got practice later." I'm like, "Damn," because I don't know the technical side or like anything to do with lacrosse in general,
Yeah.
and to see like somebody working like that at something else that's not basketball was cool to like
yeah, definitely.
just like talk to.
I want to know your goals as a team, like what you want to see, because this is obviously the first year lacrosse is a thing. So I want to know, like, where do you see this program going, and where do you see your career going? For the
Also,
next
how are you guys this season?
1-2?
Right now we're 1-2. We just came off a loss to St. Joe's, Maine. They're definitely the best team in the GNAC, like I said. We won our first ever game against SUNY Cobleskill. Won that 12-4. Great team win. Everybody got theirs in. Lucci had 4 goals that game.
It was so funny to watch. Like, whoever scored the first goal, they're like, goal from whoever, and now leading scorer for lacrosse at
Guess who it was?
Lucci?
Yeah, it was Lucci. Lucci scored the first goal.
So
in
how does
history.
he not? Chris said he has like 8 goals in 3 games.
He does.
How does he
yeah.
not like? How many goals do you have to be scoring to get like GNAC Player of the Week? Because he was not GNAC Player of the Week, or he wasn't even Rookie of the Week.
I mean, there's these two brothers on Dean right now who have won Player of the Week and Rookie of the Week 2 weeks in a row. Like they've played more games than us, to be fair, but like I think the older one who's a senior now, he had like 35 points in 4 games. 5 games maybe.
Like
Points as in like goals and assists.
You get 2 points for a goal, 1 for assist.
No, you get one each.
1 each. So he said 35 goals and or assists.
In
He's
4
contributed
games.
to 35 goals in 4 games.
It's 8.5 a game.
And his brother's doing more of the
That's fucking
same.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dean a good team, or are they just
Yeah,
top
they're
heavy?
good. They're good. They're probably. I put them top 3 in the GNAC right now, especially with those two. Like,
But where do you see your career and the team's career panning out in the next 3 years, 2 years?
I think this year our goal was we want to be above 500. Like, we understand that we're a first-year program and we're not as established as other teams in the GNAC right now, but we also believe in ourselves. We believe we can be a good lacrosse team. We're a really close-knit group of guys. We have the talent. It's just about putting that all together, just like in practices, working hard in and out of practice. We have the want to. Like, the one thing I can say about this team is that everybody puts in the effort. Like during practice, outside of practice, nobody doesn't care about this sport and this team. It's just about putting everything into one game and just taking it game by game, winning the games we should, and winning the games that nobody thinks we can. Yeah.
When is the next game?
Our next game is Wednesday, the 20th, against Mount St. Vincent.
I bet you it's going to be pouring fucking
You know who
rain.
went to Mount St. Vincent? Ryan Murs.
Oh, my God. Shout out Ryan Murs.
But I think he's going FTU now. 'Cause I think apparently there's like 35 dudes on the team, whatever, and some fuckery.
I
Some
bet you
D3
it's going
fuckery.
to be raining next Wednesday when they play. I bet you
They
so
always
much
play in the
fucking
rain.
rain.
Is it at home or?
Nah, it's away. We got to go to the Bronx for that. Next home game is the following Wednesday, the 27th. We're playing Salem State.
Gonna watch?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, pull up.
I'm interested.
A few more questions before we wrap it up here. I want to go. Could you give me 2 lessons that you've learned about yourself as a person that you've taken away from either lacrosse and or basketball?
All right, yeah. One thing that I've learned about myself is that, like, nothing will be handed to me. Like, as a player, as a person in life, like, you always need to be working to better yourself and better your situation. Like, I can't just expect to lollygag, half-ass everything I do and expect to get good results out of that. So that's one thing, like, I value in my work ethic. Like, when I'm getting up shots at practice, after practice, like, I know that I need to be working hard to get to where I want to be. And I try to apply that mindset with sports into my regular life. So, like, especially with school, like, I have a 3.8 right now. Like, I apply that sports mindset of, like, working hard, doing what everybody else isn't doing, and just being the best me I can be. And then another lesson that I've learned about myself is that sometimes I really need to control my emotions. Like, Jacob will tell you, like, I was always just, like, a really emotional kid playing sports growing up. I had a temper, terrible temper, like, just laying kids out for no reason, like,
Basketball?
Oh, nah. Both, everything. Football, basketball, lacrosse. Like, I just had a temper that I couldn't control. And it took me until, like, my senior year to really, like, hone that in. And, like, especially with refs. I had a terrible problem with refs.
Sounds like the lacrosse Keyshawn.
I was seconds away from saying that.
Nah, but in high school I had a terrible time with refs. I couldn't get them to like me. I couldn't get myself to like them. And then senior year came around and I really had to change of heart. Like, there was this one ref in high school basketball. He probably teed me up like 6-7 times alone, just himself.
In your whole career?
Yeah, in like 3 years of high school basketball.
How many texts did you get in your high school basketball career?
6 or 7.
Oh, so it was all him.
Because I changed what I did senior year, like really focusing on honing in my emotions in the game, and like I would go make friends with the ref. So much so that same ref that teed me up 6-7 times in the first 3 years, he came into my restaurant while I was working and he told me he would be an advocate for me and for the refs association if I ever wanted to apply.
You work in a restaurant?
Yeah. Told me he'd pay for my classes. Told me he'd be an advocate for me. Gave me his phone number, everything. And I'd like that. that's a big difference. So like me knowing I need to focus on like controlling my temper, controlling my emotions in the sports world. Like you need to do that in life too.
I would have never guessed that. You definitely seem like
Is it temper? I've seen it. It's amazing.
Okay, you've watched the game.
It's hilarious and amazing. But I was gonna say that's
I would not have guessed that.
it's something you can channel too. It's like that inner anger with someone. Like it can be a weakness for anybody, but it can also be a strength. Where it's like if you can learn how to channel that and just drive that towards your want to win, that can be an absolute strength on your side.
That was one of my biggest that was like one of my biggest decays when I was younger. Like, yeah, I always used it in a negative sense, and I never used it as a positive. But now, like, I just use the anger in the moment, and I fuel it to make me go make a play now, like go get it back. I would say that definitely helped me in the sports world and in just regular life.
Oh, you ready? Last question.
Yeah, so we kind of want to wrap it up.
Actually, wait, before you do that, one more. Do you have any crazy college sports stories in general? Because usually we ask people about crazy basketball stories, and I'm wondering if you have any crazy college sports stories, or even college stories, honestly. It doesn't have to be PG. Even for my own sake, it could be PG fucking 18. I'll cut it out if it's super crazy, but...
I mean, only being 3 games into lacrosse, I don't think I have a crazy lacrosse story yet, but... What kind of PG are we talking? Like,
say whatever.
Give me whatever, and I'll cut it out just so I can. It'll cut to us just dying of laughter if it's super crazy. But because yesterday, the only reason I asked this is because yesterday I asked Lucci if you have any like crazy stories, and he says he has some good partying stories. So if it's like super un-PG, then I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah. All right, so golf season, right?
That's funny as fuck. Thanks. Okay, so to wrap up the episode, what's one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self? I mean, I feel like you have a lot of experiences, a lot of directions where you could take this question. That's not necessarily in a basketball way like most of our guests would, but just drop some knowledge. What's one piece of advice you'd kind of give to your younger self?
Yeah,
could be life, could be lacrosse, basketball, football, baseball, whatever the fuck else you did.
Could be don't get tea time with a 7-footer with an afro when you're hungover.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But no, one thing I would say to my younger self is like I really could have taken the time to put in the work after the hours. Like I feel like when I was in middle school and high school, I found myself not doing that as much, and I thought it would everything would come to myself. But like just get in the gym, hit the wall, like we say in lacrosse. Really, just you have to get out what you put in, yeah, and like. I kind of had that mentality as a kid that everything would come to me because I was a natural athlete. But the only thing I could say to anybody like watching this is you're your only like rock in the way. Like you're the only one that's gonna stop yourself from becoming the best version of you. And it's just up to you what you want to make of yourself and like putting in the time in the gym, putting in the time in the weight room, putting the time in the wall. School, you can't play in college if you don't have the grades, right? So like really just focus on yourself, put in the work, and if you do that and you stay consistent, then everything should work out for you and come to fruition.
For sure. Thank you for coming on. That's it.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Awesome.